Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to PrepperNow. Here comes the crazy. Yes, it's going to get crazier. It is. So, let's just enjoy the ride, okay? Because the crazy is coming. So I thought I'd start off tonight by looking at this one right here about how a United Airlines flight was diverted over a biohazard. Of course, I'm in a undisclosed place in Canada, so hopefully this thing won't get too nutty. And it worked earlier, so I will do my best. But yes, this is about a flight where everybody on board encountered a biohazard of some sort, and crew members were vomiting, passengers were asking for masks. Sounds like something out of a horror film, I don't know. But Flight 2477 was bound for Boston from Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport Sunday morning, forced touchdown in D.C. Oh, lovely, right in my neck of the woods. Plane could undergo a deep clean after a passenger became ill. Situation was so severe that the crew members and others on board started becoming ill themselves, prompting the pilots to request a diversion. Spoke to the crew, and it sounds like quite bad back there. Crew is vomiting. Passengers are all around asking for masks. Crew member was heard saying in the audio from the flight. So I don't know what this was, but again, kind of sounds something like out of a movie. So there it was. It was going up to Boston and made a pit stop in D.C. Safely landed in Washington Dulles, inbound for Boston. Kind of being a biohazard, I think we need to get this plane on the ground, he said. Plane safely landed at Washington Dulles. 155 passengers, or its 6 crew members required. None of them required medical help. Aircraft is currently undergoing a deep clean, and we are working to get cut. Now, I don't know if maybe the person just had explosive diarrhea and it really grossed people out. This kind of story, of course, it's kind of clickbait. I mean, let's be honest, it's probably nothing. But still kind of crazy if you think about it. Flight, people are vomiting, got a touchdown. And that's just 2024. So I saw that. I thought it'd be a good little warm-up kind of thing to talk about. It is good to be back. It's been a couple days, and we're enjoying the Great North. We are just about to leave tomorrow morning. So we came up here for about 4 days. Saw Ottawa for 2 days, or really a day and a half. Saw Montreal for about a day and a half, too. Big city, much bigger than I expected. But anyway, I'll get to that here in a moment. Let's go through all the wonders that are going on around in the world. We'll start over here. Right there. Hotels. Supporting our new neighbors, taking in over $1 billion. That's good. Seems our esteemed new president in November, Kamala, is she was the czar. She probably spells it Z-A-R. Yeah, I don't think she ever went down there, but hey, her name was on it, and she did a great job according to all the online searches. Because everything else has been wiped clean, amazing. I had a good conversation with my wife, and I just said, well, get ready for it. She said, why? I was like, well, they control the information. Let's be honest. When you can put in information, and everybody knows, what's going on, and then you put in the information, and it's completely just, captured. It's kind of tough to get anybody, to understand just how precarious the situation is and where we're at, and how, our esteemed masters and the information they control, they're going to do everything they can to make it so she's in there. Why? Because she's just a suit, really, pantsuit that laughs a lot, and really, unimpressive if you go back through. She's a Californian, so great. Not really representative of basically all of the country, but anyway, Obama likes her, and so that's what matters. And she's got that George and Alex money, so she'll be in there, And what's the country going to look like? Well, here's a little snap pic, because she and Joe, pretty smart what they did. People were saying, oh, she hasn't done anything. Well, they did that on purpose. They didn't want her name on anything. They just put her name under Joe's, let Joe go out there and do everything, and then made it so everybody was just frantic to get rid of him because it was so bad. And now they're like, oh, thank God. It's Kamala. Oh, my God. What'd she do? I don't remember anything she did, but she's not Joe. That's literally the way people think. So that's the kind of mentality we're dealing with here. So we're in dire straits. Postage stamps are going to be raised again. Awesome. City Break raising prices 20%. Because, a lot of bikes here in Montreal. A lot of people do a lot of commuting. Neat. Always nice. Probably worthless when it's 2 feet on the ground. But, yeah. 20 millions of prepaid new cards for our new neighbors. And, yeah. So what else? Let's just keep going over here. Let's go and slide on over to the next one. Hey, good news. If you're with AT&T, all of your stuff was taken in a massive breach. Oh, man. Red Lobster, they're going to try and reorganize. So that's good. That means, they aren't going to go under like 65 other restaurant chains in America, like Mod Pizza that just got saved. So Kroger and Albertsons, they're going to close 600 stores. Look how fantastic the world is. Seriously, folks. This is just ripe for a re-win, for another win from our esteemed masters. Because Joe ran the country, and then Kamala was somewhere. She's not Joe, so even though all the wreckage all around us is from the magic Democrats, even though all that wreckage is from them, it doesn't matter because the information masters are going to make it so all of us, just get ready for Kamala. Are you ready? If you're ready for Kamala, put a 1 in. If you'd rather put a thumbtack through your thumb, put a 2 in. Yep. So, they're going to boost EV sales because those are doing so darn well in the car. So, Joe administration, not Kamala. She's not there. She's just on the sideline. She's like a substitute. They're going to boost that because that's been doing so well. So, consumer prices are deflating. Okay. Most since the Rona. Again, we're doing great. What's going over here? What do we got? Oh my gosh, look at that. Church insurance rates are going up. There's no friends. Come on, there is no attack on Christianity. There's no. Everything is just fine. Thank you, Kevin Grip, as always. Thanks for giving. Sorry, I haven't been doing much on the community page. I've been doing stuff here with my family. I know I should chain myself and do video after video after video, but I had the audacity to take my kids on a little vacay quickly up to Montreal. My kids wanted to see France, and I said I can't do that. That's way too expensive. Plus, you got the Olympics going on, right? So we drove 8 hours, and because $3,000 for a flight, $100 in gas, I thought I took the gas thing. I took the trip up. So, and it was neat seeing it. The lovely Northeast. Got to drive right up through New York, state of New York. But anyway, they're doing real well up there, just like everybody in America. Yeah. So, what do we got here? Where was the one? The GDP has unexpectedly soared 2.8%. So, yeah, we're good. Not that they ever fake that number. That's just, everything is real about that. I love it when they're like, hey, we gained 500,000 jobs. And everyone's like, woo! Go buy all the Dow stocks. And then 3 weeks later, very silently, they're like, yeah, that was no, we messed that up. We actually only gained 125,000, and those were people getting a second job because they can't pay for friggin' anything. So Comcast is losing people because people can't pay for pay TV. Yeah. So 56,000 home purchases canceled. 15% that were under contract in June. Well, I mean, come on, man. Everything is so great. So, yeah. Well, what would happen in a Great Depression, folks? Well, that's what it would look like right there. There's your belongings. There's you sleeping in your new digs in the park, which, hey, I mean, come on. That's some good living right there. Let's take a look. 90% of the United States population would die if Great Depression 2.0 start up. How the next Great Depression will be different from the first? Well, we've all done the numbers. The numbers are pretty much there, and the numbers are not good. Most people can't get the extras, so they're canceling everything. I mean, I've got streaming services in the back for those that like to pay. I haven't changed the pay or anything in the 4 years since I've done them, but it's tough for people. It's tough for people to. In fact, I would be lying if I didn't say that I've lost subscribers on the Subscribe Star and Locals, and I think it's realistically, it's not because I'm not pumping out stuff. I'm doing the same thing I always have. I'm gaining subs everywhere else. It's because people are literally collecting every quarter, every dime, every nickel. That's how broke they are. People are really, really, really in a bad place right now. And it's happening up here in the Great North. I'm going to do a video on it. I've got all kinds of stuff I've been tabulating, pictures and things. We're being total tourists here or whatever, and we're spending too much on, it's tough with food. We're in hotels, so you have to go out to eat. That's big. That's a big expense. I've been to more restaurants in the last 3 days than I have in the last 3 months. And I don't, like it, but, kids, and they were looking for the France experience, so we're getting them croissants and baguettes, and, wife wanted crepes and yada, yada, yada. You get the point. Actually went to a really cool market today. I went to Jean Talon, Marché Jean Talon. It was cool because they've got all this stuff you can kind of, go and buy, and beautiful fresh vegetables and stuff, and little restaurants and everything else. So, my son only eats pizza and chicken nuggets, so we get him a piece of pizza. Wife wants a crepe with bananas and chocolate. Kids want sushi, that kind of thing. So everybody got their little tidbits and stuff. But, Cosmic Shy, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It was packed. There was a lot of people there. But the prices were pretty good. The prices in Ottawa were much more expensive. I'm actually going to show that. I took a picture of the price. We got a chicken. We got some feminine products. We'll just leave it at that. I've got young ladies in the house, and they need things every once in a while when Aunt Tilly comes to visit. We got some potato chips. We got a bag of grapes. We got a bunch of bananas. And I think that's it. Oh, and a chicken. We got and it's halal. Hey, really cool. Halal chicken in the grocery stores of Ottawa. We went to Loblaws. I don't know if you've ever been there. Nice place. Kind of looks like a Kroger. All those things, $40. Bananas, grapes, chicken, feminine products, bag of like good potato chips, $40. So, I mean, I that's why I took a picture. I was like, this is nuts. So I don't know. I've seen from people saying that the Canadian prices are exorbitant, and they are. But the people are really super nice. I will tell you that. And Montreal is a gorgeous city with a lot of parks. That's what I like about it. There's a lot of green spaces. And the old Montreal is really pretty too. Again, tourist trap and all that, but still fun to walk around and give the kids the France thing. But anyway, Canada's not doing too great either, you know. So what do we got going on with that? Well, Canada's worst decline in 40 years. Yeah, they're not doing too hot up here. So, study compared the three worst periods of decline in Canada in the last 40 years. In 1989 recession, 2008 global financial crisis, and post-Rona. Unlike the previous three, Canada is not recovering. Something broke. I think it's Justin Trudeau, but I will not speak ill of him in this country. The Québécois people are very nice, and the Ontarians, or whatever the heck they call it, sounds like an alien race from Star Trek. They were really nice, too, up in Ottawa. People are great here. People are great. Saw some really cool things, but there's obviously hurting. We were rolling today, and I took a picture of the numerous homeless people. They're all over the place. They're all over in Ottawa. They're all over the place in Montreal. Definitely more in Montreal. But Ottawa's the capital city, so clearly they've got more money to chuck around. But 2019, Canada had the worst growth out of 50 developed economies. Inflation-adjusted Canadian wages have been flat since 2016. And that is who in charge? Yes, that is right. It is Justin Trudeau. Ah! Some say his father was from Latin America. It's nowhere near over. Canada's per person real GDP is still falling. Looming U.S. recession. But again, magic. These people, these people that trash everything and make us focus on really crappy culture that nobody wants and all that. Somehow they just magically always get back into office. Crazy how that happens. By the way, Venezuela is voting today, and we're waiting to see that. I got a strange feeling Maduro's going to win again. Yep. So. Not rare for a middle-class family in Canada to pay half their income in taxes. Can you imagine? Can you imagine making $80,000 a year and having 40 grand of it going to taxation? Because that's what they're doing up here. The highways were nice. They were well taken care of. But my man in the back, Ricky Canuck, he contacted me and said, be careful of the potholes in Montreal. They are legendary, and I must admit they are. I think I saw a small family living in one on one of the rues. Anyway, Canada's official food inflation is up 25%, energy up 30%, carbon tax law. The gas is extremely expensive compared to the United States. I kind of knew this was going into it, so when we got to the border, I filled way up. And this is in upstate New York, so I think it was $3.70 is what I was paying on upstate New York. But I knew, because I did the math, because they go by liter up here, and I think it was $1.59 per liter, which effectively came out to about $1 more when I did all the transactions and stuff on my phone to figure it out. So imagine America paying $5 a gallon in gas, because that's about what it is in the Great North. So God bless them. Sales tax in most Canadian provinces is 13 to 15% on everything you buy. I can confirm. You go out, it's about $80 to $100 for a meal for 5 people. Now, it's 1.38 for the Canadian loonie to the American dollar. So, who is that right there? PNW Prepper, thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that. Thank you. It's about $70 to $90 for a family of 5 to eat here. And, we're eating it. Like tonight we had ramen. My kids love ramen, so we went to a really good ramen place we could walk to from where we are. We're staying close to Concordia University. We just found a good hotel and everything, and so, but yeah, I mean, this is where it is, and this is, tough. Prices are expensive here. 7 in 10 Canadians agree that Canada is broke, rising to 8 in 10 of those between the ages of 18 and 34. I went to a coffee shop, had a lady with a lovely French little saying about how she wants to see the end of capitalism. And, told my wife I'd love to have a debate with her, and, didn't, and all that. And I said, that's the difference between myself and, very staunch leftists. I can coexist with them. I can live with them. I can be in the same area. I can have a coffee at the same coffee shops and everything else. But they can't do that with me. If I were to walk in there and I'm like, hey, Captain Conservative here, the entire thing would be throwing hot coffee in my face, trying to, kick me out probably. There is a definite anger and violence that they have deep in their souls, I believe. But I digress. Canada is pretty leftist, and these are the policies that you get. Total CPI inflation, monthly, 1996 to present. You'll see that big thunder spike to the right up there. Yep, that's called I'm broke. Canadian style, and we're getting it here too in America. That's why, don't worry, I'm going to bring all this together like I always do. So. It happened so fast, they say. Crisis in 2008. Canada weathered much better than America. True. And what changed? Well, Justin Trudeau, specifically his campaign to convert Canada from a mixed economy like the United States into a government-dominated economy like the 6 men of European Union. And that's all done on purpose. They want that. They want that big gov. And what does big gov do? Big gov is stupid. Big gov is wasteful. Big government pisses away your money in the name of getting more votes. Let's be honest, okay? And it's coming. It's coming to America. But it's already here. We're already seeing what the results are right here. So, Justin Trudeau, oui. Your economy is oui. It is piss. Look at it. So what's that one over there? That is right there. We got the blue. That is real program expenses. So Trends in the economy, Canadian population, real federal program expenses, and the size of the federal public service. By the way, I thought well, let's just say I heard probably 10 different languages in both Ottawa and Montreal since. And I used to live in New York for a long time. I've been to little areas where, in Queens, you take the 7 train. They call it the, it's basically you go through all these different ethnic areas. And so you hear a lot of people speaking a lot of things on the 7 train. You hear Arabic, you hear, Hebrew, you hear Spanish, you hear French, a lot of different languages. The streets of Montreal were definitely a lot of different languages as well. A lot of Asian languages. It is a country that has opened its arms to new neighbors. I'll just put it like that. And why is that? That's because of Mr. Trudeau, Mr. Trudeau. Yeah, oui, oui. So under him, business investment has plunged by 1/3. Government spending nearly doubled, almost half of GDP. Now, supposedly there's going to be a pushback. And you got to understand, who is Trudeau? Why is he there? He was there, Obama. He got there after the global financial crisis. He was there because you had Harper, I believe him, if I'm remembering my Canadian politics. And Harper was conservative, and it was wartime, so all that, but still, not too bad. And now Canada is very liberal now, and the country is affected by it. So, government spending nearly doubled. Workers in Canada are growing almost 4 times faster, government workers, than the private sector. And that's the goal. That's what they want in America too. So 1 in 3 Canadians is now working for the government. Think about that. 1 in 3 Canadians is now working for the government. They rake in 30% more in salary and benefits. So why wouldn't you want to work for the government, right? So another 1.7 million Canadians, that's 1 in 10, are on welfare. So it's difficult to win an election in Canada on a small government platform. You're up against the government-provided livelihoods of 40% of the voters, meaning you've got to win 80% of everybody else. And is that going to happen? Probably not. So there's your breakdown right there. Now, why am I talking about all this? Because coming to America, da-da-da-da-da-da, Kamala, growing government, coming to America. There she is. There she is. Alex and George say she's going to be the next one for you, folks, okay? So there she is. Get ready for Kamala. And what is she going to do? Well, she's going to be an empty suit with a big fat smile and a laugh that is going to make you want to rip your eardrums out. Now, as I said over on the crisis report, if you don't vote for her, you're one of the racists. Okay? You know what you're getting with her. You're getting exactly what I just read to you. You're getting all the government programs, everything. This is all done on purpose. It's all to urinate away the West. So jackasses like George and Alex can come in and buy everything for pennies on the dollar because they don't give an shit about you, me, or anyone else. All they care about is their money, their God money. That's all it is. So what are they going to do, folks? They're going to put in Kamala. They're already working. It's already working. Oh, you seen the polls? Oh, she's just rising. Just rising. Everybody is so excited to have her. They've just been waiting. It's not like you can go and see anything she did in the last 3.5 years because she did absolutely nothing. She basically was a name under a yard sign. And Joe went in there and did his thing where he couldn't talk and he gaffed and he, couldn't get off a stage and he's shaking hands with ghosts that aren't there and all that stuff, just so people on the Democrat side can go, oh my God, give me someone else. Give me someone else. And they said, here she is. We did it, Joe. And they're working. They're already scrubbing her nasty record on all of the platforms, like her throwing people I think it was drug abuse or something like that. Her record as DA was not, or AG, whatever the heck she was not good. Yeah, you can pick that apart. But don't worry. That would take like effort. We don't want that. So we're going to just get rid of all that information out there. Just like if you want to go and find Orange Man Bad's attempt on his life on July 13th, they're just getting rid of all that crap too. That's a little too inconvenient. There you go. That might make you think that the old leftists are possibly mentally ill. By the way, a guy got mad because I was calling him Orange Man Bad. Let me make it abundantly clear. I use very thick, heavy sarcasm, okay? PNW Prepper, thanks for coming in and being a supporter. $2 a month, folks, all it is. I do put stuff in the background. I actually did put that I think there's going to be a war in the Middle East when it was breaking and all that, so I'll get you information before most people, but thank you, sir. But, oh, you gifted 10, bro. You're spreading the cheese tonight, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Join and we are growing. That's growing. That's cool. So yeah, there she is. Sorry. Let me get back to Kamala. I use heavy sarcasm here. Okay, I do. Sarcasm is a sign of intelligence. I like to have a nice, smart conversation about this. So, you guys understand that what you're about to get with this fine specimen here. A guy got mad because I was calling the anointed Donald J. Trump Orange Man Bad. I'm calling him that not to make fun of him, okay? I'm calling him that to make fun of the people that can't stand his presence. The NPCs. You know what an NPC is, folks? It's a non-playable character. What is that? These are the idiots that when you just flash a picture of DJT, they literally want to rip the poo out of their butt cheeks and go crazy. And they can't handle. These are the ones that have been conditioned. Cosmic Shy, thank you very much. These are the ones that have been conditioned to, you seen the meme out there where it's got the gray guy and they open up the back of his head and they like take out the Ukraine flag and they put in like a BLM riot flag or a Rona mask, and you know what I mean? Basically, these people can't think for themselves, okay? So when they see a picture of Orange Man Bad, they flip out. I'm using heavy sarcasm with that, okay? So that's to make fun of those people. If someone's mere presence makes you like want to rip your clothes off and act like Hulk Hogan, that's too emotional. I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris, but there's absolutely no like emotion. I'm unhappy with what's going on. I'm worried that we're going to look like Canada, and now she's getting the treatment. She's getting all the love from the establishment and our mainstream media. And why is that? That's because the Republicans are stupid. Let me tell you why. They're playing by this team's rules. You see this fine young specimen right here. They're playing by their rules. They're using the mainstream media. They're doing all the debates on everything they're doing is from their rules. And this is what happened in Canada. They played by their rules. And what happens? Well, they're going to tailor the game so this thing wins. They need to completely just stop using. The two most popular podcasts in the country are both conservative leaning. It's Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan. There's a great piece out today by Sundance. For those that don't know who Sundance is, They don't know the person's name. It's their pseudonym because, they'll probably get, like, their life threatened if they're to know who they were. But wrote a piece on how the Republicans are getting worked and how basically everything we're doing on the conservative side is stupid. Playing by the rules, doing all the things. We should be playing by the rules. We should completely set up things alternately, and we were kind of doing that. The piece by Sundance was talking about the Indians that got taken over by the British Empire in the late 19th century all the way up, until finally Gandhi, used peace and satyagraha and all that to get rid of them. But why did it go on that long? Because the British were phenomenal at making the Indians think that they were outnumbered, outgunned, and out everything else. So the Indians were complacent. They were docile, and they just accepted their fate. Well, that's what the conservative side of things. Oh well, okay. I guess they're beating us. There's more of that. No, there's not more of them. If there was more of them, New Neighbors would be popular. It wouldn't be 60-some% saying the New Neighbors, we don't want them here. Because everybody's smart enough to know the New Neighbors are going to add to our inflation, they're going to take away our jobs, they're going to add to our debt. There's a whole bunch of things that anybody with a few brain cells to rub together can figure out pretty quickly what happens when people come over and you take care of them and you give them everything to get set up in a couple years. It's called lifeboat economics. The boat's full and it's taking on water. So what are they doing? Well, they're doing the same thing they always do. That's why you got these idiots like Paul Ryan in the back of Fox News and everything else coming out with his polls where they're completely oversampling Democrats. It's not hard. The game isn't hard to do. And all the conservatives are like, oh, we're outnumbered. There's more people that, want their kid to chop things off and wear purple hair. I guess so. No, there's not. Most people look at them with the same strange kind of what the hell were you thinking feeling that everybody else does. And I'm surrounded by them up here in Montreal, and I'm sure they're well-intentioned, but still, they're lost, I bet all that I own that my life has a lot more meaning raising a beautiful family and being devotional to God. We spent yesterday in St. Joseph's Oratory on the Montreal, which is what Montreal is named after, this big mountain in the middle of the city, essentially, where Jacques Cartier, who discovered it on the St. Lawrence River, came rolling up and looked down upon and said, I call this place Montreal. And they built St. Joseph's Oratory up there. It's beautiful, absolutely breathtaking. And we sat there and we prayed and all that. And a lot of pious people up there, It was a really beautiful moment. It's inspiring when you go and see that. And then you see all that, and then you go down, and then like you climb down from that mountaintop down to the streets of a big city like Montreal, and you see the many freakish people in their strange garb and their strange tattoos and their strange everything going in, and when I see that, I tell my daughter, there was a henna tattoo, she wanted one. I said, when people do that stuff where they just get all like garbed up like that, they got tattoos on their face and, they're wearing freaky deaky crap and all that, they might as well just get a big sign saying, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. It's an insecurity. I don't need anyone to look at me. I'd rather go covert, camo. Back to what's going on here. They're going to promote this lady. They are. And they're going to bring the full force of it. All the polls are going to show you Orange Man. Because, in less than a week, automatically, everybody's like totally excited about her, right? I can't wait until she speaks. They're not going to debate. Mark my words, she's not going to debate. And they're going to do everything they can to promote her and anoint her and put her up there and do everything. I thought it was going to be Hillary, but you know what? There's smarter political analysts back there on the Democrat side, and they're looking at all this, and they're saying, nope, she's the one. We're going to put her up there, and we're not going to let her talk, and we're going to just make her shine. We're going to take all the information down, and we're going to just make it so nobody knows. But she is not Orange Man bad, okay? And that's all that matters, right? Those low information voters out there, oh, don't need you, check the world. She's nice. She's cute. I bet you 95% of the country couldn't tell you anything that that woman has done. Couldn't tell you that she's a California senator. Couldn't tell you that she dated Montel Williams or Willie Brown or anything like that you're not allowed to talk about. Couldn't tell you anything. And what does that mean? Well, here's your future, America. There it is. There's your future. There it is. Look at all that welfare going up there. And what's going to happen? Well, the welfare is going to vote for getting itself taken care of. It can't pay for itself, so they're going to vote for more and more and more government. And the government's going to give it to them. Why? Because that means they're getting votes. And then eventually, America, at some point, the whole thing's going to crap the bed. It's unsustainable. There's no way this is all going to work forever. Usury is getting too much. GDP is at like 140 or something, going up, rising. And eventually everything's going to shift out to Asia. And this whole experiment called America will finally, gotten the Rochambeau from George and Alex, and they will buy everything for pennies on the dollar, break the sucker up, turn us into some, quasi-third world nation here in the next 20, 30 years that your children and grandchildren and my children and grandchildren will get to deal with. And it's going to be crappy. And it's not going to be fun. And it's going to suck. I sit there now, cross the Rubicon of 50, and I'm like, man, I'm not going to live forever. If I can get to 90 or 100, that'd be great. Don't expect it, but I'm hoping, right? Trying to do things. I was doing real well, and then, of course, we went on vacation, and so we've had a little more food than usual. Done a lot of walking, though. But anyway, I just want my kids to have good stuff. I don't want them to live in this liberal cesspool that they've got created, and they're trying to build all around them at every moment and every turn. So rich assholes like George and Alex can sit there and craft things so they get richer and richer and richer and richer and richer. So the little lady in the coffee shop in Montreal can sit there and think that capitalism is bad, when actually it is not capitalism that is bad. It is crony capitalism that is bad. It is an oligarchy that is bad. It is the people that have been selected to be friggin' puppets that is bad. That vacuous look, big laugh, smile, cackle, look, I'm going to be the president. Today is today, and yesterday is tomorrow, and yesterday's today is tomorrow. Oh my God. I bet Joe Biden would be like I bet, on a good day, if he's got like some good meds pumping through him, he'd be a tough guy to debate. I mean, I don't think he'd be easy. This one here, sorry. No fear. But no, most people don't know who she is. Most people don't know what's going on. Most people don't know that they're building this big governmental gulag all around you. Most people don't know that all the big corporates and everything else, like what you're watching here, and just putting it all together so they can basically tell you that capitalism and little mom and pop shops are the devil because they have a non-green footprint. And if we just were all run and had big, couple big choices and everything that were all corporate, just Coke and Pepsi, Target and Walmart, Kroger and whatever else is still left behind. Kroger's going to take everything over too. That's what's our future, just a big corporate megapolis that is run by a bunch of hedge funds in the back that are trying to make your kids consider chopping things off. So, and all I can do is scream from the YouTubes and say, please, God, see it for what it's worth, because this is what's in the future. Yep. Decline, more government reliance, and our cost of living getting less and less and less and less. And the most freakish and craziest of ideas becoming the norm, moving away from wholesome things. You know, if I will stop on this. Driving down, I was talking to my wife, you know, we're talking about what we've seen and everything, and, you know, I said, you notice the banks here in Canada? She said, what do you mean? I said, just the banks. You know, you see that we're living in a, you know, we're in a big city, so there's a lot of banks, a lot of like bank towers and stuff like that. You got TD, which is Bank Trust. You got BMO, which is, I guess, Bank of Montreal, and a few others. All of them have the big rainbow all over the place, all up on their signs and everything. Every else, other place, you know, I mean, you go by in the college area, they'll have it up, and, you know, but honestly, down in Maryland, there's more. But here, on all the banks, I mean, it's all the emblems, all the everything. And maybe it's just because they put it up because of June. I don't know. But they got all the rainbow love going on. They're pumping that whole thing. It's all over the place, on the banks. I found that very interesting. What would it be? Why would a bank care about that? You know? It's a bank. I'm just trying to put my money in, save it, pay my bills, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's because the people in the background that are behind those banks and behind all the corporatism that they're trying to foist upon us as they wag their finger and try to lie to you to make you think that, you know, having multiple choices of restaurant and retail and services, you know, whether that's plumbing or whatever, that's all bad. We just got to have corporatism run everything. It's all got to be run by big hedge funds. Maybe they're pushing that crap because they know the end game is to make us all succumb to their cudgel, where they sit there and they knock everything out, and they use Rona and everything else they can to divide us and just keep knocking off little people left and right until we're all on the government dole. And then at that point, folks, they're going to be able to really control us. Oh, you like your little pew-pew there? Well, sorry, you're not going to get your government funds. So you better turn that in. Yep. We're not going to teach about history anymore. We're going to teach you all about dinguses and why it's important that where you put your dingus is the most important thing you do, that kind of thing. That's why we're going to foist all this crap like you saw in the Olympics the other day, right? Put all that, shove it down your throat, so you get aggravated and then just eventually give up. So don't give up, okay? We're not going to change it overnight. But, you know, when you see societies like Argentina with Javier Milei changing things, when you see Tayyip or Naib, whatever his name is, Bukele, turning things around, and you see other little countries that used to be leftist messes that were violent and crappy, when you see those get it together and start to change things and make it so there's a little bit more freedom and liberty and everything else, and dial back some of the economic crazy and crap of socialism, it gives you a little bit of hope. So don't get down on yourself. You know, I am sarcastic. I do call this stuff out and see it, and I don't like it, but at the same time, I do think it can change, and I do think people will get fed up, and I do think people at some point will push back. We've already seen that with Bud Light, Disney, and other people. These corporatists are a Potemkin village when you really, really dial back the curtain and you see back behind stage, like in The Wizard of Oz. just some old bastard back there controlling his government and his media puppets to say the things to make you think that they're overwhelming you, when really in the background, they're the ones that are scared, and they're the ones that are not the most populous. You know, there's more of us than there are of them, to put it bluntly. All right, we are going to cut it off there. I'd like to thank my mods. If you like what we're doing here, you can be a member like Lady L and Highland Huskies. I appreciate it. $2 a month, less than a coffee. Trust me, coffee up here in Canada is about 3 times as expensive. And yeah, so we can call it out and you can see what your future is from all the places getting shut down, like Albertsons and Kroger, closing down 600 stores. Good old Kamala waiting in the background, trying to do it. America about to be Canada and Trudeau style. And eventually, folks, more and more of these poor souls. So, go out and learn to grow food and learn to do things, and support local small businesses. Use cash and boycott all of these big megacorp USAs that are making more of these kind of dudes happen. And they are. Because they're the ones that are raising the money and doing everything else and making it so the inflation goes up, and in this negative feedback loop where they keep putting in the people that are hurting us the most. Okay? Because we're not going to get there if we keep playing by their rules. So the best thing to do is to take your money out as much as possible and to help each other and lift each other up. So, all right, God bless. We'll see you on the next one. Links in the description if you like what's going on. Hit the like button and all that kind of stuff. We'll see you tomorrow night when I'm back in the States. God bless.